Alright, I just finished doing another video and it's given me something that I want to talk about straight away. And that's the topic of contentment. Because this is actually something that I really do think is important, because I think we often miss it. In fact, I think sometimes it's almost like contentment was sitting on the hallway table, but I missed it because I was too busy rushing out the front door to go and find something to make me happy. When my wife and I lived in Japan, one of the things we wanted to do, a very touristy thing, was we wanted to climb Mount Fuji. And so we got on a bus that delivered us to not quite the bottom of Mount Fuji, but the bottom third of Mount Fuji. And we got there at about 7 o'clock at night, and we climbed Fuji. Now, when I say climb, it's clambering up a path. In some cases, you have to sort of pull yourself up on a bit of a rock, etc. It's not mountain climbing. It was hiking. All right, I want to make that very clear. But it was 10 hours of hiking, and it was 10 hours of hiking going up a mountain that is 4 kilometers above sea level at the top. And we actually took a little bottle that basically gives a mouthful of oxygen, which we used and we needed. To put it into context, the last few hundred meters took a long time, because literally you would walk 100 meters along the trail and you would have to stop because the air was very, very thin. Believe it or not, there is actually a little shop at the top of Fuji. There's a trail, a back route that they can get up, like a little caterpillar track, and it restocks this thing. But it has the most basic things. It sells like bottled water, but also, being Japan, it sells bowls of rice, freshly steamed rice. And you can get things on the rice. But Anna and I basically got a bowl of dead, plain, freshly steamed rice, and we sat at the top of Mount Fuji and watched the sun come up. Now, the rice tasted like food of the gods, but again, that was because we were tired, but also I think the experience of watching the sun come up from Fuji was incredible. Now, what has all this got to do with contentment? Well, I think these are micro examples of contentment. These are micro examples of, at that point in time, that very, very simple thing of sitting down with a bowl of plain steamed rice was the most amazing experience. The rice tasted incredible. Our bodies were so appreciative of the rest and of the nourishment. But also, we had earned those bowls of rice, I think. And so I think there was a sense of accomplishment as well. And in regards to contentment, I remember the first time I ever acknowledged, oh, I'm actually content. And it was probably 2, maybe 3 years into my first studio job in the game industry. I was often, very, very often working overtime. I was significantly underpaid. And it's important to make both of those things. There were aspects about this job that were not good, but I was on my way home from work. I had stopped in at the supermarket. I had basically gotten a bag of groceries, and then I'd gotten on the bus because I didn't feel like walking. It would only have taken me sort of 20 minutes to walk the rest of the way, but I thought I'd jump on a bus. I was sitting in the bus with a bag of groceries. I had a job that I was enjoying. At that stage, I'd started going out with Anna, so she was my girlfriend back then. And I had an apartment, like a flat that I was renting, that was not bad. It was convenient and close to work. So I had a roof over my head, I had a bag of simple groceries, I had a job that I was enjoying, and I had a person in my life that was significant to me. And I felt contentment. Importantly, I acknowledged that I felt contentment. And I think that's the thing. Don't race out the front door trying to find the next big thing, the next high-paying job, the next high-profile thing that's going to make your social media branding look better, the next girlfriend or boyfriend or hot date, or the next flashy car or whatever. I know that seems a little bit hypocritical. me driving a nice car, but I think sometimes we miss being happy, because being happy, sitting right there on the shelf saying hello, you actually would be happy right now if you acknowledge that you're happy. You've got all the things you need to be happy. You're just too busy racing on to the next thing to notice that you're actually happy now. Stop and let yourself be happy. I've got some colleagues at the moment that I know are going through some real stresses. They've got family problems. They're really overworked. They're living in places in America where they're having to deal with COVID, and that's a problem. But they still manage to stop and make sure they're happy. They put up little notes going, tonight's movie night with my son. This weekend I'm going to sit down with one of my children and we're going to play Mario on the Switch together because they've been looking forward to it for ages. I'm going to sit down with my cat on my lap and listen to some of the music that that some of my friends have been working on lately, because I'm really looking forward to listening to my friends' music. They post these things on social media, which is great because it lets me know that they're doing things that they're enjoying. But I do wonder, are they actually acknowledging themselves how wonderful these things are? Don't spend your entire life running to the next gig so much that you forget to notice that the gig you've just done was really awesome and you're really happy with the work you've done, and you acknowledge that you've actually progressed in your career and you're better at what you do than you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, possibly even 5 months ago. Allow yourself a moment of contentment. Allow yourself a moment to acknowledge simple things. The rent's all paid up. The fridge has got food in it. I'm going to sit down with my boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever friend, and watch something on Netflix. Allow yourself a moment of happiness.